Good morning and Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm at the corner of First and Blanchard in Belltown, and this morning I'm going to give a tour of Belltown. I've got my coffee here with me. I brought my own coffee this morning. This is a rarity, and I did this because I didn't know if coffee shops would be open. So I figured make my own coffee, and it's actually very good coffee. And I've been using a French press a lot. So Belltown is a neighborhood in downtown Seattle. It's the most residential neighborhood here. It's also the most densely populated neighborhood in downtown Seattle. This is Ohana here. This is like a one of my favorite dive bars. I really miss coming here. It's like a tiki bar, Hawaiian bar. Man, it's been a long time, but I used to come here a lot with friends back in the college days, and even more quite recently. And I believe they're still open, but of course, due to the lockdown, there's no dine-in at restaurants, so they accept to-go orders only. Anyway, hope everyone is having a good Christmas. This is morning time, 8:30 right now, and I'll be uploading this a little bit later on in the day. And yeah, Belltown is a neighborhood that I've received some requests to make a video of Belltown, a Laotian walkthrough of Belltown, so here it is. So more about Belltown. Belltown was named after Mr. Bell. I'm gonna be very honest with you, I forget his first and middle name. I think his middle name was Nathaniel. Forget his first name. But anyway, Belltown was named after him, Mr. Bell, and he was the owner of the land that is currently Belltown. This parcel of land is right next to the Puget Sound. It sits right on the eastern shore of Puget Sound. And this used to be a light industrial, low rent neighborhood back in the day. And as of more recently, it's become not low rent. A lot of artists, musician types used to live here, and now that it's more of a tech town, well, actually Seattle is a tech town. It's officially a tech town. It used to be a company town back in the 80s, and then it became, oh, check out this mural. And then it became music town with grunge, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, many other bands. It became music town. And then with Amazon and Google and the other tech giants coming to town, Seattle became tech town. And Amazon, by the way, is just to the east of here, just that way there. You go a few blocks, you'll be in Amazon territory. And so, Belltown is like I stated earlier, is a very residential area of downtown Seattle. And with the current politics and just how things are, crime, I want to talk about crime a little bit. Crime has actually really gone up in Belltown. It's gotten pretty bad here, and it's gotten a lot of bad publicity as it relates to crime. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's densely populated. Everything is counted measured rather by per capita. So crime is really high here in Belltown. So in case, I know from time to time people will comment on one of my videos. Sorry, I had to take a sip of the coffee. And outside of YouTube too, people be like, oh, I'm moving to Seattle, I got a tech job or whatever. Where should I live in downtown Seattle? Should I live in Capitol Hill? Should I live in Belltown? Should I live in Ballard? Where should I live? Or Pioneer Square? I mean, really the three main areas that people will ask about will be Capitol Hill, Belltown, and Ballard. Maybe Ballard. Ballard's a little removed. Ballard's kind of far from downtown Seattle. If you have a car, or if you like to take the bus, that's fine. But if you're trying to walk to work and you work downtown, then you might consider Belltown. Or you might consider Capitol Hill. So let's talk about that a little bit. Capitol Hill. If you like the nightlife and the hustle and bustle, Capitol Hill is probably a better choice. There's more to do there as of right now. Belltown had its moment as far as nightlife and things go. And I suppose there's still, I just wanted to show you this welcome to Belltown sign here. Let's go ahead and, this is an interesting parking lot. It's currently vacant, but you can't come to Belltown without checking out this sign here, or this mural. And there it is. Welcome to Belltown. What was I even talking about? Capitol Hill. So yeah, Capitol Hill in comparison to Belltown. I was talking about Capitol Hill and then comparing it to Belltown. So yeah, Belltown had its moment as far as nightlife goes. And it moves around. I mean, back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, it was Pioneer Square. It was Pioneer Square. So Pioneer Square was the happening place. And I still remember I was a teenager in the 80s and 90s. And driving through Pioneer Square, man, the clubs and bars, it'd be hopping there, Now it's sad. I drove by Pioneer Square just last night with my wife and was reminiscing about that. And things change. That's very cliche to say. But as it relates to Seattle, the club scene, night scene, the bars and restaurants, it's moved. I mean, it keeps moving. I mean, it was, like I said, it was Pioneer Square, and then in Belltown and Capitol Hill, and then Ballard really really changed. Ballard is like the happening thing right now in Seattle, I suppose. But the thing with Ballard, though, is that it's, in my opinion, Ballard's a little far from the city. Ballard's just north or northwest from here. It's a few miles. But it's great. I mean, you don't have to leave Ballard to do the things that you need to do in life. I mean, there's bars, restaurants, coffee shops, theater, everything's there. But I'm gonna cross here and go check out this mural. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna try to make this video not be too long. And the whole point of this video is just to give you a sense of, what Belltown is like. Again, no, this is Christmas morning. It's early in the morning, and people are going to say, well, there's nobody here. And yeah, that's going to be true. There's nobody here because it's early. It's Christmas. People are probably still sleeping, or maybe they're up and opening presents. Who knows? Bob Marley. Who do we have here? Bob Marley and wow. We have Martin Luther King, Notorious B.I.G., Malcolm X, Tupac. Looks like, who's that? Left Eye from TLC? Looks like it. And perhaps a few other people I can't recognize. That's Nipsey right there with the blue bandana. Nipsey Hussle. Okay, let's go this way. I don't want to make this be too long a video. There are some significant landmarks, places I want to highlight on this walk. So, Capitol Hill. Should you live in Capitol Hill or here? Well, more nightlife. Cal Anderson Park is there. The Link Light Rail goes there. Link Light Rail drops you off right off at the Dick's Burgers there, right at the, right by Cal Anderson Park. And I know people are going to say, wow, who wants to live in a protest zone or a SHIT hole, which a lot of people call all of Seattle, all of Seattle's a SHIT hole to a lot of people. And that's fine. People still live here and people still move to Seattle. And this is not a video or a vlog to convince people to move here at all. Just giving you a sense of what Belltown is like in the morning, because sort of what I do. Okay, let's go ahead and cross here first. So I talked a little bit about Capitol Hill. Let's talk a little bit more about. Oh, there's a Hummer. Remember when Hummers were the thing back in the day? It's like they were so popular. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger had one. He had, of course, expensive original. There's different models. He had one, and then you would see Hummers everywhere. So Belltown, if you work in downtown, Belltown's very, like if you work for Amazon, it's convenient. And there are a lot of restaurants, really good restaurants here, by the way, actually. One of them, speaking of, this is one of my, so two of my favorite Japanese restaurants are in Belltown. One of them is this place here, Shiro's, across the street there, on the corner of 2nd and Battery, right there. Fantastic sushi place. The other place is Umi's Sake House, and that's sort of across the street from Ohana, where we began our walk. It was to the east of that restaurant. So I'm going to show you this area a little bit. Here's a Moroccan restaurant. I think I ate here once before, a long time ago. My wife and I ate here, and I recall it being pretty good. The ambiance is amazing. That I remember for sure. Yeah. And I remember the food was good as well. I mean, there's all sorts of bars and things here. There's Buckley's. That's a local favorite. And a lot of places are new or newer. Rob Roy has been there for a while, I remember. So with Belltown, yeah, you'll be closer to Pike Place Market. You'll be closer to Amazon. There's going to be higher crime, and there's the homeless population. I mean, there's a homeless epidemic in Seattle right now, of course. Rendezvous. Huh. Look like they're closed. And so, there's a lot of the homeless population here, and but you have that in Capitol Hill as well. And as far as crime goes, yeah, gotta be careful. Crime. Oh man, did this place close? Did Shorty's close? Oh man, this place is awesome. Okay, they're temporarily closing is what I'm reading. Okay. Temporarily closed. This is like an arcade bar. This is a great place. I like this place. This is a fun block here in Belltown. Next door is Rocco's Cocktails. That's a great place for cocktails. I've gotten cocktails there before. Now across the street are a bunch of really good restaurants. In my opinion, they're good restaurants. Bang Rock Market right there is a Thai restaurant, and it has a really cool vibe there. It's a fun place to eat and take photos for Instagram and that sort of thing. It has like a what is it? Street food vibe there. That's their thing. And then wasabi sushi, Japanese restaurant across or next to it. Next to it there is quite good as well. That's a pretty good Japanese restaurant in my opinion. So yeah, Belltown, crime. People say, when they think Belltown, they think crime. And yes, there is crime. But I believe the highest reported number of crime is actually in Pioneer Square, like where the King County Courthouse is. 3rd and James, around that area. There's just a lot of stuff always popping off there. So what is this? CBD. So this is what Belltown looks like in the morning, y'all, minus all the humans. You can see that the humans are starting to come out with their dogs. I was watching a vlog the other day about Seattle, and this couple was saying that Seattle is a dog-friendly city, which it is. It really is, actually. And that there's a lot of people with their dogs and stuff, and that if you're a dog lover, that it's a plus, because that's one thing you have in common with others is your love for dogs. And if you like to walk your dogs and that sort of thing, you'll see other folks with their dogs. And showing you a mural here. This is not a mural, actually. This is a painting over plywood. So you see a lot of this in Seattle and elsewhere too. 2020 is like the year of plywood and spray paint, isn't it? Anyone have stocks in plywood or spray paint, it probably came up this year. So this is walking south back towards Pike Place Market, which is straight ahead and to the right a few blocks. And if I go left, that would take me to Westlake Center, the retail core shopping area. But from here I'm going to go left because I want to show you the park here at Belltown. There's a park here, and there's also an off-leash dog park within that park. And it's a park that's used a lot by residents, but also in the past You know, the homeless population have also, it's like where people like to congregate. I mean, it's, you know, it's a park in Belltown, green space, and there's not a lot of green space here to begin with, so people are going to use it. And drug activity, I mean, you know, people, oh, there's tents there, okay. You know, there's tents everywhere throughout the city, more in certain areas than others. Looks like King County Sheriff is doing their thing there. But yeah, drug activity and just crime, this park, people talk about that a lot. And you really just have to be careful. If you go to some of the forums online and read about neighborhoods, Belltown included, you know, I think that's one of the best things to do, okay? If you're going to consider living somewhere like Belltown, go there, go online. So this bus stop here, super sketchy bus stop. People talk about this bus stop a lot. And because it's right next to the park. You know, it's right next to the park. And wow, imagine this. This is Dan's Belltown grocery store. Imagine all the activity that happens at that grocery store. You know. So this is the park, y'all. This is what it looks like on Christmas morning, 2020. Pretty vacant right now. And across the street, there's a Korean restaurant, Korean Bamboo. There's a pho restaurant. I've never eaten it at the pho restaurant. If you've watched enough of my videos, you'll know that I love pho a lot. So, who knows? Maybe I'll try pho there one day. Looking back to Westlake there. Seattle Center's that away to the north. We're gonna walk by this park here and show you what it's like. Here they got a couple of honey buckets for you to use. You know? So Amazon over there. And looks like a cap to a needle. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna go too close to that though. So this is the park, y'all. And I've actually not entered this park in a long time. And today's not the day that I'm gonna do that either. Just wanna show you what it looks like. Usually there's a lot of people with their dogs here. That's what I see when I drive by here, but like I said, it's early, it's Christmas morning, so it's good to have context instead of just, you know, saying, oh, complete ghost town, which Belltown, that's people have said that about Belltown, or they say that about Belltown, that it's a ghost town. And to a certain extent, I mean, yeah, you know, people have moved out of Belltown. I mean, now you can work from home. So a lot of residents are opting for places outside of Belltown. A lot of residents who, you know, previously would live in Belltown, they're now living in places like, well, Ballard, or they've moved to the suburbs even. They've moved to places like, you know, Kent, or not, yeah, well, Kent, Des Moines, you know, Kent, Des Moines, Renton, And a lot of people are finding cheaper rent in those areas, or north too, like Linwood and Shoreline, Montlake Terrace. And certainly if you're going to buy real estate, it makes a lot of sense to not buy in the city these days, you know, like for $600,000 or $700,000, which is sort of the median home price here in Seattle. I mean, you can buy a condo, you know, 1-2 bedroom condo in downtown Seattle. You can buy one of those and then pay $300, $400, $500 a month for HOA dues. You can do that. Have not a lot of space. Be immersed in all the crime. Have little to no parking. Or you can buy a house in one of the cities I just mentioned, just 30 minutes away, and work. You know, be able to work from home, have a yard, sometimes even have a view for $700,000. You can find a house with a view of the Puget Sound or something. So here's my other sushi restaurant, by the way. It's one of my favorite sushi restaurants, Umi Sake House. And next door to it is List. Looks like they're still in business. This is sad to see this side of the street be like this. This is for lease. I forget what was there before, but next door to that, right here, this used to be a TLU's. And before that, it was it was something else, and then before that was something else. So it's changed hands a lot. But back in the day, when I was in college, this was 2218. If you're local and you're watching this, you might know about that. 2218 was like a bar, a club actually. And it had a pool table. I mean, it was good times back then. This was in the 90s. Amber, I don't know if Amber's been here for a long time. I don't know if Amber's still open, but man, it's all boarded up. Does not look like they're open. They're a bar, so currently can't be open as a bar. I mean, you can, but again, dine out or dine in service is unavailable due to the lockdown. Straight ahead here, you can buy a ring, and you can buy nice expensive diamonds. You can buy a diamond for your wife and one for your concubine. And then straight ahead, I forget the name of this place. Here, let's go discover it. Why not? It's is it a speakeasy? Is that what I'm looking for? It's a bar that is really just it's a small bar, but man, they make tasty stiff drinks here. I've been here a few times. Bathtub Gin. Yeah, it's a really small place, and awesome, amazing drinks. Can't wait to come back to this place if they're open, if they're still open. Once things get back to normal a little bit. All right, y'all, Belltown. Just, showed you Belltown, one neighborhood off the bucket list of neighborhoods to tour. Let's take a look at some of the murals and graffiti on this wall here. And trash too. Beer cans, trash. I mean, a lot of this is, big city stuff. It's not exclusive to Seattle. And Seattle's not even it's a big city. It's like, to me, it's a medium-sized city. What is it, 800,000 people? It's not New York or LA even, or San Francisco. But it's starting to exhibit some of those behaviors, right? And we're starting to see a lot of things here that we did not see in the past. I'll just leave that at that. I'll show you this last mural here. One last mural. I don't know if this is from a comic book or something. I don't know where it's from, but it's a huge one. I don't care what they say. I know we belong together. Looks like Skeletor from He-Man. The guy on the right does. All right, you all. I'm almost back to the corner where I began this walk. Second and Battery. Pike Place Market is that way there. A couple of blocks. Oh, this is an Army and Navy surplus store, and it's boarded up, but they put the plywood behind the glass, which I think that's interesting. Usually the plywood would go in front of the glass, right? So, all right. I'm gonna walk back to the corner where I began my walk, and I'm gonna go ahead and say thank you for walking with me, and for those that requested this video. Now you've seen Belltown through my perspective. I mean, everyone has a different take on things, but you know, this is how I'm showing you, presenting to you Belltown, just by way of a walkthrough. And in the morning, early morning, well, 8:30, 9 o'clock now, and on Christmas morning 2020. All right, everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, take care, be safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Peace.